Peace, peace, peace. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, it's your boy Vic Slain Hope. And I got another video for y'all. Before I even get into the video, man, like some of y'all know me, some of y'all don't. If you're new to the channel, if you click in the description below, you can access my book, Who Profits When Black Men Gangbang. You can also access the link to the documentary, We Came to Heal. Check that out, right? It's a documentary about healing, and we all know like our communities need to heal, right? We've been through a lot. We're still going through a lot, and yeah, we need to be figuring out ways of how do we repair the harm that has been done in our communities. With all that being said, let me get into the video. So a lot of y'all know, like, I used to gangbang, right? Some people might ask themselves, what you mean you used to? You never stopped and blah, blah, blah. Well, whatever. You heard what I said. I used to be a used to. I no longer engage in that kind of behavior. I came home. I converted to Islam, right? I came home after realizing that I was an agent of the state, right? That I was helping contribute to the detrimental outcomes that were going on in my community. I decided to do something different when I came home, right? I mainly give that wholeheartedly to Islam, right? Like, after converting, I developed a different ideology, a different mindset of trying to do something different. You know, after you cause harm, you have to kind of like figure out, how do you repair that harm? How do you do things differently? So I embarked upon a mission to come home and like talk about my experiences, do something different, right? Try to guide people in a different direction, or talk about things that like we normally don't want to talk about because we are afraid to talk about them, right? So that's some of the things that I began to engage upon when I came home, right? I also wrote a book, like I just said earlier in the video. I've been part of different initiatives, right? Just trying to help out, not just people who are formerly incarcerated, but also just the community at large, right? Because when you live in a community and you engage in a certain behaviors, it's only right that you come back and try to do something different. But anyway, fast forward, right? It's crazy how like I come on the internet and sometimes I try to make videos that might spark something in us, to want us to do something different, to want us to shift our energies in certain directions, and people just either they're not ready or they just don't want to be there. They don't want to get there, right? But we will sit here and complain, we'll sit here and whine, we'll sit here and like, you know, have all these outbursts. But there's things that we can be doing. There's power that we have. There's agency that we have as individuals, that on our day-to-day life, we can do things to make a difference, and we choose not to. I don't know if we just don't know we can, or if we just don't want to, right? But I'm gonna say we just don't want to. There's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of initiatives. There's a lot of people doing things, and we just don't get involved. For example, like you hear things like people say they're pro-black, right? And most of the time that I heard somebody say they're pro-black, it's only when it comes to dating. It's only when it comes to who they sticking their penis in. It's only when they come into like who vagina they going into. But outside of that, they don't support no initiatives. Outside of that, they don't do anything in their community. They don't know them. They're not part of like the community boards in their community. They don't know their elected officials. They don't do anything for the community, anything. But they always running around saying they pro-black. How you pro-black, homie, just because you got a black girlfriend? Like, this is what it has come down to. That's just one example, right? That's what it has come down to. Another thing I want to talk about, it's like, you know, when 50 Cent said in Stunt 101, he said they liked me better when I was fucked up and ashy, right? It's like, yo, people like me more, or I would say like people was tuning in more when like my content was just about entertainment, right? I always had like other content at the same time, but like people mainly gravitated towards the entertainment, like because I told Rikers Island stories, and I didn't tell those stories for you to sit there and be laughing and be having a good time. Like those were real moments, right? Those was real situations. Like going through incarceration was a real thing, right? Like people suffering, People are sad. People are just having a lot of volatile emotions. People are undergoing through a lot in those situations. And I told stories in a way where like people could take heed to what I'm saying, but also I could slip in some positivity in there, right? And it seems like people don't really care about the positive stuff. They cared about what entertained them, right? They liked me better when I was entertaining them. And then when it's time to have real conversations, people is just like, nah, like we're not trying to have that. Because that's what a lot of people in our community do. They trying to distract themselves from what is really happening, from what is really taking place. And the more they distract themselves, the more the environment is either pushing us out of our neighborhoods, right? It's killing us slowly, right? It's messing us up mentally because we keep choosing to ignore. We keep choosing to cope, to entertain ourselves until it's too late, until the stuff is at our front door or it's right in front of us or it's already too late and it's already infected us. And this is like the trajectory that our communities have been taking. And then when you try to have real conversations about the ignorant, degenerate culprits in our communities, people either they want to blame the man, they want to make excuses about Jim Crow and Willie Lynch, or they just don't, or they want to like deflect it and push it on you and say, well, what are you doing? What are you doing in the community? You're just talking, you're just on the internet. You know, because obviously people don't know what I be doing. And a lot of times they're just projecting that they're not really doing nothing. So their response is, what are you doing? Because in reality, they're not doing shit but jumping in my comment section, triggered and upset and bothered because I want to have the conversation, because I want to highlight certain things, because I want the community to be different, because I want to come home and I feel like I got to watch over my shoulder, because I want to come home and not see certain behaviors and not see like our women being addressed a certain way, or me not seeing our brothers feel like they're in danger when they see other black, because I'm trying to address these things and then they try to gaslight you as if you ain't been in the hood, as if you ain't run the streets, as if you wasn't banging on niggas, as if you wasn't a byproduct of what was going on around you that you partook and got involved in. And it's like, bro, like, why are you trying to sit here and act as if the things that I'm narrating that happen in our communities, and it's continuous to happen in our communities, why are you acting as if that stuff not happening? It's crazy, man. Like, I was there, homie. Of course, I wasn't the toughest, but I was there. What I'm telling you is something that is continuous in our neighborhood, and you got a lot of cowards in our neighborhood. Right? You got a lot of dudes. You hear them talking about the young people. Oh, these young people are different. What you mean they different, bro? What you mean they different? If you ran the streets when you was younger, they're not no different than you. We was wilding too. There might be a slight difference. We might have respected our elders more. We might have like did certain things a little different more. But for the most part, we was wilding too. We was cutting school too. We was getting high. They might be doing pills, or whatever. The point is, it's a lot of similar behaviors that we engage in that they engage in. So why are we acting like we don't understand what they're going through? We acting like we don't understand what they're going through. And it's so annoying that every time you try to have the conversation, there's an excuse. Bro, there's initiatives out there. There's people that are doing things. There are people that are trying to have men groups. There are women who are trying to have women groups. There are people. You could get involved in your community. You could be part of your community board. It's a lot of things you can do. It's a lot of things that you can do, but we gotta stop making the excuses as if like these things are not really happening in our community. We gotta stop making those excuses, man. And it's sad that we can't even really get to the root of it because people be so triggered and butthurt. Like, bro, how else are we gonna overcome the things that are happening? It's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. But we gotta figure something out. And of course, you could go the selfish route. I could just be like, yo, F y'all. But guess what? I live in a community. I'm part of the community, right? That I gotta come home to every day. that I gotta be in community with people. I gotta see people. I gotta walk past people. And who wants to be walking around people with an edge? Don't get me wrong. When I walk around, I'm on black love. Like, and part of the reason why people don't do the work that they need to do is because people are afraid of their own people. Black people are afraid of black people. And this is the funny thing. Black people will try to gaslight me and say that what I'm saying is not really happening, or it's a very small number for you to even be highlighting it. But yet a lot of these people are afraid. They're afraid to go to certain cities because of black people. They're afraid to go to some places in Baltimore. They're afraid to go to some places in Detroit, some places in Jacksonville, some places in New Orleans. Like, they are afraid to go to certain places where black people are at because they're afraid of people. But then you sit here gaslighting me. Like, nothing really going on in the black community. Oh, it's just a very small. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Let's be real. How many people is becoming engineers from our community? How many people is becoming doctors? How many people is becoming lawyers? How many people is becoming, like, these skilled professionals that are going into these fields that are needed? Like, how many of our folks? A lot of our people have the same mindset. Entertainer. Become an entertainer. Become an entertainer. Let me just entertain. Now the new thing is streaming. I'm just trying to stream. If it's not a rapper, I don't even know if dudes be playing sports anymore, because it seems like the young boys don't really be out there like that. But I know during my time, it was mainly trying to make it to the NBA. You know, trying to make it to like NFL or something. Or we don't really play football in the city like that. But it was definitely NBA. It was some kind of sport. And I was like a rapper. It was a rapper thing in my time too, but it's still kind of like a rapper thing. Or some kind of like streamer. It's still connected to some type of entertainment. This is cultural stuff, man. People grow up. Of course, there's a percentage of folks that, like, they be like, nah, I'm gonna do something different. But yo, when you look at demographics, man, when you look at city demographics, you get the answer. And I don't mean to ramble. I'm gonna just cut this video short. But what I'm saying is, you're not about to sit here and act like there's not no problems that we have in the community. You're not about to sit here and act like our folks are afraid of each other. Not just to have the conversations, but also they're afraid to even engage in any type of way. Which is why we tend to mind our business, thinking that that's gonna solve anything until it hits home. And then we wanna get involved, and then we wanna highlight certain things, then we wanna talk about certain things. We're not about to sit here and act like our community does not need a lot of help. We're not about to sit here and act like one of the main reasons we continue to be in the conditions that we are in is because we are the biggest enemies that we have to one another. We don't have no unity. We don't like each other. We don't know what mutual cooperation is. We don't even know how to have dialogues without even getting angry at one another, threatening each other, saying we got putting our hands on one another. Like, this is how we have dialogues. Yo, the misplaced anger thing is not going. It's not going to fly, man. It's not going to get us nowhere. It's not going to solve anything, and we're just going to keep having more problems than solutions. So, yeah, man, y'all do with that, whatever y'all gonna do with that. Let me know what y'all thoughts are in the comment section. Have a good one. Peace.